opening tip won by the Thunder as we get started in OKC. To Westbrook. Ferguson to Adams. Big stuff and a lot of traffic on the way to the rim. So far, so good.
Didn't take long to get this crowd on their feet, and one of the most undervalued things in sports, the 13th man, the fans. If they get you going in the game, they can help you sustain that energy.
Westbrook. Converts in the paint. Nice finish at the rim.
And that is the sign of an unselfish team. When everybody in transition thinks they have a chance to get the ball because you have a willing passer, somebody willing to make other players on his team look great, that's only going to force your players to play that much harder on offense and give you more energy on the defensive end.
Milwaukee with the basketball to Bledsoe. Brogdon knocked loose. Picked up by the Thunder.
Now push it. Let's attack in transition so we can build this lead.
Goes reverse to lay it in.
Bodies bouncing all around on that layup with the offense winning that battle. But if the defense keeps up that kind of pressure, good things are bound to happen.
Giannis with it up top. Trailing by 4. To Lopez. Yes! And a chance at 3 coming up.
The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number 1, create contact, and number 2, still get the ball up. You need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
Brook Lopez at the line for a chance at a 3-point play. For his career, 78% at the line. Unable to connect on the free throw. Finishing inside the paint on that one. He's endured a major injury. He's had a change of address. But you look at Paul George, he is in the prime years of his career.
And there's no doubt about it. This entire offseason, if I were Paul George, I would think about how do I constantly channel my self-assigned alter ego. Playoff P needs to step up to the court every single day and bring that energy.
And a putback slam.
Woo, that's nasty right there.
Russ at the controls. To Adams. George, his first effort off the mark.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Beyond the arc for 3. It's good. Coach wants to see more from his D.
I got to give a lot of respect to Malcolm Brogdon. He got Rookie of the Year a couple of years ago, but I think he flew under the radar. It's a lot more difficult in that second year when scouting report gets very enhanced. Let's see how year 3 works out.
Giannis in control of the basketball. Leads just a point. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
People become so fixated on the hands or the arms or the strengths of the arms. I look at the legs. The strength of his legs help him power through that play. That's how you get and-ones.
Giannis Antetokounmpo trying to cash in on the 3-point play. A career 74% free throw shooter. Oh, it's blocked by Lopez.
Ed, that's light work for a guy with his ability.
Fires the 3. Well, their first 3, and they're right back in it within a possession in this first quarter.
Well, I don't want to live in the past, but if you got a couple of those to drop earlier, you could have had a nice lead. Now, we got a dogfight.
To Antetokounmpo. DiVincenzo. Yes, and the foul, and a chance at 3 coming up.
Ed, you ever bail out of something at the last second? That's what I saw right there from the defender. No man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
Giannis Antetokounmpo at the line for a chance at a three-point play. Hasn't missed yet. The free throw, good. Caps off the three-point play. The lead is 4. Get the cameras out. Flash on.
That's going to make a nice poster.
The Bucks at the controls. Turned away by George.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
Ferguson slams it down.
And when you get your prescription, you take your medicine and you call it a day.
Giannis with it up top. Leads a bucket. Oh, good defense there. Thunder with the steal. Westbrook not getting the bounce. Knocked loose. And that's going to be out of bounds off of George. Changes coming from both sides right now.
Oklahoma City. Subbing in for the Bucks. Number 77, Ersan Ilyasova.
DiVincenzo to Antetokounmpo. Giannis Antetokounmpo looking good. 4 for 5.
In the paint, you need to finish just like that.
George over to the right side. Here comes the screen. Schroeder stuffs it down with authority. They have set the tone in this one.
I love when I see offenses come out in beast mode. You attack that paint, you get to the rim, inevitably the floor will open up for you to knock down some threes.
Bucks at the controls. Antetokounmpo. From the outside, no good.
That's called a heat check right there. Surprised he missed that one. That was an open look.
Across midcourt, it's Schroeder. They can get a 2 for 1 if they play this right. Paul George, down low, Noel. Deep right corner from long range. That's off the side of the rim, no good. DiVincenzo to Antetokounmpo. Flushes it home. Jay, they've had no answer for this guy.
He's been on fire this first quarter. That's the way you take it right to your opponent. You attack right out of the gate.
Won't go down. Defenders lucky he wasn't called. Hill into the front court. Shot clock turned off as they get a chance to build their lead. Layup's good at the buzzer. Nice finish to this first quarter. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. Bucks at the controls. Oh, Dennis Schroeder. He's finally on the board. Makes his first shot.
When I think about the biggest international names in the game today, Dennis Schroeder's name probably isn't the first that comes to mind. But did you know that he's one of only 3 players to ever play in the league from Germany? Detlef Schrempf, Dirk Nowitzki, and Dennis Schroeder. He is a blur with the basketball, and he will be the first or second option offensively down the court each and every possession.
Easy path to the rim.
And cutting hard in transition is one of the most underrated things about this game. The harder you can cut is the more it opens up the floor to make plays just like that.
George to Schroeder. To Paul George. Send it away.
Did you see how far he got up? He kept going up and up and up. I think he's still going up.
Bucks basketball. Brogdon to Adetokunbo. From the painted area, won't go down.
And you have to remember that your hand is part of the ball. There wasn't enough contact on that play for the refs to blow the whistle.
No good and no foul.
And this happens all the time in this league. Sometimes offensively, you're tired. It's one of those type of nights. You combine that with the fact that the defense is hungry and active and contesting everything, that's why shots aren't dropping.
Knocked loose, and that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Thunder. Some lineup changes now for both clubs. Giannis in control of the basketball. It's an 8-point lead. Too easy. Defense has to communicate.
Ooh, that confidence level is so superior. Whenever you start jogging back on defense before the ball even goes through the net, that speaks for itself.
Bledsoe to Adetokunbo. Throws it down. He was ready right at the tip.
Came out of the gate, attacked, found ways to get to the rim. Now look how easy the game is coming to him.
Shot from the lane won't go.
But you can't just be a one-dimensional player. I know you're probably frustrated by me even saying that, but when you don't even give the option to pass the ball by utilizing some head fakes or ball fakes here and there, you save the defender by keeping them on their toes with the element of surprise.
Count it.
When the ball is in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Milwaukee with the basketball. Throws it down.
You know, Ed, the effort is what concerns me the most. Effort is replenishable. If you're tired, raise your hand, check yourself out. Get somebody who actually wants to get back in transition and play some defense. That will help your team win the game, not you just staying in the game to be better on offense.
And he'll head to the line.
Ed, as a defender, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot foul in the act of upward motion into your shot. Your timing needs to be better.
Paul George at the line for 2 shots. A career 84% free throw shooter. And hits the first free throw. No back-to-back free throws here. He missed the second. Gets it in the left corner. Whoa, Chris Middleton. He's 2 for 2 now.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
Schroeder. Nearing impossible. No getting through.
5, Ed. That's 5 blocks tonight.
Bledsoe with the basketball. Lead stands at 10. For 3. Off the mark. No good. The follow won't go either. Ferguson to Adams. Schroeder. Not that time. He missed it. To Bledsoe. Cleans it up. And a chance coming up at the line.
Great job, Ed, by the shooter to create contact after the jump. That's how you get to the free throw line.
Eric Bledsoe has got 2 shots coming. For his career, 79% at the line. First try, no good. Second one goes. It's a 1 of 2 trip. Westbrook. The Bucks at the controls. Offensive board. Another follow, still no good. Westbrook into the front court, trailing by 11. Oh, Dennis Schroeder, 2 of 4 now.
Woo, did you see that? Eyes to the rim, and the rest was all net.
Bledsoe with it up top. He'll run the offense. Adetokunbo to Hill. To the outside, to Bledsoe. Here's a chance from long range. Oh, Eric Bledsoe, guy who can make plays. They dare him to take it, and he knocks it down.
Great shot by the offense. But the defense, you can't afford to collapse off that penetration. I'd rather a team take a tough 2 than a wide-open 3.
Number 17, Dennis Schroeder.
Giannis with it up top. His guys can hold for the final shot. Now pass taken away by the Thunder. That's it. First half has come to an end. The Bucks with the lead.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jalen Rose, and this is your EA Sports Halftime Report. The Bucks have the advantage on the scoreboard at halftime. Clearly, the number of three-pointers these guys scored in the first half was incredible. And if they can keep that up, it's going to be tough to keep that team down. These are the guys getting buckets for the Milwaukee Bucks. The Thunder are in need of some changes at the half. They've got the break to figure some things out. And trust me, they've got a few things to figure out. Still, it's not like they're totally out of this game.
Game track. Assists.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are struggling to move the ball and create good looks for each other. What makes it worse is their opponent isn't having nearly the same problem.
Player of the half.
Antetokounmpo did a great job of reading the defense and exploiting the opportunities where he can make the most damage. He's definitely feeling it.
Who was cold?
Every player that makes it to the NBA is a great athlete, but even the best players have off nights. Today has just been one of those nights for this guy. Here we go with the top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
And with that, I'm sending it back to Ed and Jay to bring you the rest of the game.
Giannis in control of the basketball. His team leads it by 10. To Lopez. It's a big finish.
Oh, man, you're not supposed to be able to do that with that size, but in today's game, dexterity and mobility are off the charts for bigs.
Ferguson. To Westbrook.
Hey, double screen.
Bledsoe with the basketball. His guys lead here early stages, third quarter. Fires the three, and it's good.
Well, that change is inevitable. And one of the things that continues to fascinate me about this game, usually when you see a good three-point shooting team, their shoulders are square to the basket. That's no longer the case in today's game. These guys are off balance, they're moving different ways, yet they still have extreme shot-making ability.
Middleton gets it in the right corner. Lets it fly from long range. Buries it on the catch and shoot.
I know he's a volume shooter. I know defensively at times you have to take your lumps. Might be time to adjust the scouting report, though. Start denying him the ball.
Now a steal by Milwaukee.
Ooh, I think people are leaving already.
Middleton, great feed, sets it up. Giannis Antetokounmpo add 2 points to the board.
This offseason was the summer of Giannis. He discovered so much about the American culture, even some of the sweets. And I see his game has gotten even sweeter.
Westbrook to Adams. Oh, bad pass, and the Bucks have it.
Here's your chance to break this thing wide open.
To Lopez. Off the assist.
Well, the shooting has been spectacular, but one of the things that I've seen as the difference maker in this ball game is how they are catching the basketball. They're not establishing a pivot foot, which leaves the defense wondering which way you can drive, but when that shot is working like that, you got it any way you want it.
Westbrook bothered just enough on that one. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
Ed, you ever bail out of something at the last second? That's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
Eric Bledsoe trying to cash in on the three-point play. Shooting 50%. Some yes, some no in this contest. Westbrook knocked loose. George drills the three.
Ed, let me tell you how this one goes. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have some. Everyone's getting a piece of the rock tonight.
Oh, good defense there. Thunder with the steal.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in first and second grade. It's called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you will be able to stop a great passing team.
Bledsoe to Middleton. Whoa, Chris Middleton. He's 3 of 5, 60% shooting from the field.
When I played, and I see guys do this all the time, when you shoot, the target isn't the basket. The target is actually before you even go into the shot. The target are your hands defensively. If your hands are down and you give me clear vision towards the bucket, that shot's definitely going up.
And the reward, he's going to the line.
Sometimes when you get up big, you get a little careless. But attention to detail through the end, that's how you avoid unnecessary fouls.
Steven Adams, a couple of free throws on the way. 56% for his career. He missed a pair of free throws. Hill across the timeline. His guys holding the big lead. Paul George. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Paul George can't get that one to go. Defense all over him.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
Here comes the screen. To DiVincenzo. Just enough of a head fake to help on that one.
Okay, look, not everything is going to make it into the scouting report.
Now a whistle, and we're going to get a timeout from OKC as their coaching staff wants to talk things over here in this third quarter. Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor. Westbrook. To George. 4-3.
That reach was just about a second off. He got his hand in there a little bit quicker. That would have been a steal.
Just enough imbalance. Paul George is going to get 3 shots here, shooting 50%. Some yes, some no in this contest. First one goes down. Knocks down the second free throw. Hits all 3 free throws. Strong finish for Paul George. Here on their home floor, they're chipping away.
I mean, does this crowd have a pulse? Are they even alive? Sometimes when you make a play like that, your crowd needs to get you back in this ball game.
Bucks at the controls. And the defender over pursues, and he's called for it.
He took a chance. That's the right call.
George, that's his 3rd personal foul. Team foul.
Middleton.
Oklahoma City Thunder are in the penalty.
To George Hill. From the painted area, won't go down. George, count the triple.
And in today's game, you have to make shots like that. Nice work draining it from deep.
Hill into the front court. Shot clock turned off as they try to extend the lead. Now pass taken away by the Thunder. Oh, Russell Westbrook. He's 3 for 7.
Number 13, Paul George.
Just inside the arc. At the buzzer. 3rd quarter comes to an end. The Bucks in control so far. The Thunder have it to start the 4th quarter, and they're not totally out of it just yet, but you'd have to say they have lots of work to do to get back in this game.
They probably have to put together some kind of 10-0 run to get back in this ball game, but this is when an opportunity has a chance to become magical. I've been part of it, and I've seen it happen so many different times. Just because a team has been dominating you the last couple of quarters doesn't mean that you can't start believing in yourself, that you can do anything you want to do on the court at any given time. You watch, once you start to believe, you'll get back in this game.
George, now a steal by Milwaukee.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in a playoff game, it will.
Paul George. Slam dunk, Russell Westbrook. Where did that come from?
It's like he got in an elevator and went to floor 8. And Ed, I have to say something, okay? 6'3", 6 feet, 5'11", those aren't small guys. In the big scheme of things, they're pretty tall compared to the average person in public.
I feel like you're speaking from experience.
Everyday experience, my friend. Every day.
Oh, bad pass, and the Bucks have it.
Don't play scared now. Let's push the ball. Let's get this lead up.
The shot blocked by Grant.
Ed, that's light work for a guy with his ability.
To Paul George. Oh, it's blocked by Lopez.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
Middleton to Adetokounmpo and finishes strong. At this point, if it continues, it just may be good night, Irene.
And ooh, I like that Irene line.
There you go, Jay.
And sometimes as a player on the defensive end, Ed, you need to draw a line in the sand. You have to find a way to change the narrative, because right now the constant theme has been too many easy buckets.
Jay, don't deny it. You're an old soul at heart.
Yeah, I still don't know who Irene is, though.
Me neither.
All right.
Paul George at the line for a chance at a three-point play, shooting 80% in this contest. Free throw's good to cap off the three-point play as they draw a tiny bit closer. Hill across the timeline, looking to make something happen. That's no good. Middleton to Adetokunbo. Good look that time, but off the mark. Grabs his own miss and scores. Good concentration.
You know, it reminds me, Ed, of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with a fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
And scores.
Sometimes when the players find that flow, nobody else needs to touch the ball. He's in a zone by himself.
The Thunder will use a timeout as they'll make sure they're all on the same page here in the 4th quarter. Paul George to Westbrook. Going to launch beyond the arc. Big Russ, big shot, hits the 3.
We love to break this game down analytically. We even love to break it down more psychologically. But sometimes it's just about settling into the game. Seemed like in the first half, things were rushed. Now we finally see them have their composure and their poise.
Not that time. Ferguson to George. Beyond the arc for 3.
That'll be a winning formula in overtime every time. Answer a 2 on one end with a 3 on the other. Ed, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think a 3 is more than a 2, correct?
That is great math, my friend. Giannis with it up top. His guys up by 15. Another chance. The follow won't go either. George. Shot from the lane won't go. To Adams. Ferguson. George. He engulfed him that time.
Shooters shoot. Period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
To Adetokunbo. Brook Lopez. With that shot, he's 5 for 8.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. George, shot off the mark. Good defense.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
Can't get past the defender. Adetokunbo to Bledsoe. Fires the 3. That's off the side of the rim, short. Westbrook with the basketball. Down a bundle. Gets to the basket and scores.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Now a whistle, and we'll get a timeout called by Milwaukee. High fives all around. This game is well in hand in the final minute. Middleton to Bledsoe. Yes, and the foul, and a chance at 3 coming up.
That was such a great job by the offensive player. Knowing that you're probably going to take some lumps here and there, but still remaining aggressive throughout the shot and getting a crack at the extra point.
Free throw's good. Add 1 more to the total. This game feels out of reach. Westbrook. From long range, he took the bait and he hits.
It's easy to get lost in the chaos of the game down the stretch, but great awareness by the shooter to get those toes right behind the three-point line.
Oh, defender pulls the chair. Rejected by Giannis. And he's fouled. Very close. Free throws coming up.
Okay, now we're on the home stretch, and you got a big lead. Don't let your opponent back in this game by giving up extra possessions.
Misses the first. Good recovery. Hits the second free throw. And they called a foul. Felt the breeze there, Jay.
That's just a blatant foul. Maybe he's trying to make a statement.
Knocks down the first. Second one off the mark. He goes 1 for 2. The Bucks claim victory as they win this one handily. For Jay Williams and all our crew, I'm Ed Cohen saying so long for now. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
Here we go with the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Bucks put together a nice win here today. They did it with blocks, and they did it with steals. More to the point, they did it with excellent defense. They committed to the grind and got rewarded as a result. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Milwaukee Bucks. The Thunder didn't lose big, but it wasn't exactly close either. And even though some of them smiled and shook hands with the other guys after the game, you could tell by the way they headed to the tunnels how disappointed they were about this loss. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Game track. 3-point shooting.
The Milwaukee Bucks were able to stretch the defense because of how effectively they were scoring from long range. The opposition couldn't make the necessary adjustments and now have to settle with a loss.
Player of the game.
Antetokounmpo was happy to throw down plenty of dunks. And if the defense happened to be there, he brought them along for the ride.
Who was cold?
What can you say about a guy like this? Except that he fits the title of this segment. He was definitely cold in this game. These are the top plays of the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
See y'all next time. Jalen Rose, signing out.